Hi everyone, welcome back to the weekly reading. I missed last week, so that was because I was super busy and just with a lot going on. It's school holidays over here, so being a mum, super busy, and I am still catching up on previous orders while my store has been closed, in case, you know, for those people that were wanting a private reading or that sort of thing. I am actually going to be reopening my store, online store that is, towards the end of next week. Possibly I'll see how I go. And this video I'm going to be talking about the weekly astrology for the cards. This is going to be based on your elements. So the first pile here is for the fire signs, so that would be Sagittarius, Leo or Aries. The second pile here is for earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo, and you can go by your sun or rising sign. Either one is fine. If you don't know your rising sign, obviously go with your sun sign. The third pile here is for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the last pile here is for the water signs, Scorpio, Cancer and Pisces. Okay, so oops, just dropped my camera. This week, 13th of July through to the 19th of July, these are the astrological influences, or the main ones, the standout ones. So Jupiter and Pluto, Jupiter being retrograde, are lining up on between 22 to 24 degrees this week, and a lot of people, especially those with anything around 22 to 24 degrees of a cardinal sign, so Capricorn, Cancer, Libra or Aries, are going to feel this quite activating internally. And if you're feeling repressed or controlled or restricted in a way in your life that's been going on for a long time, this energy can really start to kind of bubble up from within you. And especially this week, because we also have this alignment, which if you follow me on Instagram at Susan Starlight, you'll see that I posted this on my stories recently, a few days ago, about the Mars Chiron conjunction, which is happening this week. This is a fairly rare conjunction with Mars in Aries exactly conjunct Chiron. They did get close to a conjunction. Well, they were technically conjunct in about 2018, but they didn't hit the exact degree. So there's something very powerful when the conjunction hits the exact degree, which is happening this week. And there's a lot of energy this week. So what to expect with the Mars Chiron in Aries conjunction, which will be square with Mercury in Cancer, is our feelings and thoughts can trigger, for some people and those that have anything around 9 degrees of Aries, Libra, Capricorn or Cancer in particular, a triggering of like an inner feeling of angst, frustration, even anger. This can be potentially a volatile energy that we may see in the collective. Be very mindful of your anger this week, especially if you have strong Aries placements in your chart around, those degrees I mentioned. But obviously for everyone, this is going to fall somewhere in your chart. For some people, it's going to activate them more. It's looking at issues related to the wounded masculine ego, and there may be issues if you have a pattern in your life of dealing with men who have wounded egos, or people that have ongoing patterns of problems in their identity, in their self-expression, in their personality, in their lives. This could be something that you address on some level this week, especially if you have Aries energy. Be very mindful if you have strong Aries, especially if you have Mars in Aries around this degree, or if you have Mars in a cardinal sign or a rising sign in Aries or a cardinal sign close to this, you could get quite triggered this week. So say if you're Aries rising around 9-10 degrees, and that's going to be very strong for you. You're going to feel this very personally. If you have a Libra ascendant, you're going to feel this very much in your relationships. So that's just based off the solar astrology. So again, if you know your chart, look where the Mars Chiron conjunction is transiting, because this is a very strong energy. But ultimately it's to heal something, and it's something that is really in need of healing at this time. And it comes up to look at and face honestly, and look at in a serious way, and also check your reactions, because this week reactions that come out very quickly, that don't have any self-control behind them, or any planning or thought behind them, it can be this lashing out energy that can, for some people, more so with men that have strong Aries energy can be a bit volatile, and potentially you want to stay away from that type of energy. If you feel anger from others brewing around you this week, or anger within yourself, you may want to work on breathing techniques, self-control, mindfulness, being aware of what's going on inside you rather than just letting things build up and getting angry. So a lot of energy this week, and the Pluto Jupiter conjunction is also intensifying this this energy because of all the cardinal energies here. Even though the Mars Chiron conjunction is at a different degree, it's around 9 degrees. The Saturn Pluto is 22 to 24, so they're not, thankfully they're not all conjunct. That'll just be, or not all in contact in terms of the degrees, but they're still all active this week. There's also from Tuesday to Saturday the Sun opposite Pluto and opposite Jupiter, so very strong pull between intuition and familiarity, with a powerful need to transform the structures in our life. So there could be some conflict with our identity and how we find security with what actually needs to change. So power issues can come up too with this opposition, and somehow a bit of a sort of energy to do with light and dark forces kind of pulling against each other in some way. Sun opposite Jupiter also this week as well. So really quite a powerful week I see this as being. So and the cardinal signs Aries, Capricorn, Libra and Cancer will be most feeling this week. Okay. Also in other news, Mercury is now direct, which it has been since last week, so that's good. And really, I think with Jupiter retrograde making that angle to Pluto, it's really about being very aware of what's going on inside of you, because as I said, Jupiter wants to grow. So what is your intuition prompting you about where you need to go next and where you need to grow next? I feel like it's definitely looking at those kind of issues. All right, so let's look at the cards for this week. I'm actually going to use the Astro dice as well. I just felt like throwing those in for some extra messages for each element. So let's look at the first pile, which is for the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries and Leo. So you guys have power. Interesting. Number 16, tiger's eye, animals, solar plexus, chakra. Well, that's interesting because very fiery energy with tiger's eye. Here the solar plexus being that seat of personal power. It always comes up like this. Sun in Aries, so new beginnings, and in particular for Aries people. So a special message for the Aries people. There's something to do with new beginnings in your life this week, and it says a leap of faith is needed. So you may be feeling either that you are having a new beginning in your life, or that you want to go towards like a new start. You may be feeling it quite strongly. Let's look at the Astro dice for the fire signs, see what comes up. So you have Uranus, the first house, and Aquarius. Interesting. Okay. So what I see with this fire signs, there is definitely a change with regards to independence. That's very strong coming through. First house. Sorry if you can't see that. I've just realized it was a bit below the camera. Planet Uranus, the first house is a house of identity, of self, of your path forward. Aquarius is a very independent sign. It's about thinking, being pragmatic as well. But Uranus with Aquarius together, Uranus rules Aquarius. It's very much talking about, for the fire signs, stepping into your own individuality, your own individual ideas, your dreams, aspirations, goals, and where you're headed in your life. The power card, interesting because that correlates with the solar plexus tiger's eye message here as well. So there's quite strong emphasis here for you guys, for the fire signs this week, on your personal power, because look at this Sun in Aries. Look at that sun. It actually reminds me of the solar plexus, which is mentioned here, and totally relates to power and self-empowerment in a positive way. So the fire signs this week, you guys are being encouraged to listen to your intuition and follow the guidance that you have within that is empowering for you, not disempowering. So obviously not kind of waiting for things to come to you, but more being the one to tune into your intuition, take action. And for some people, these new beginnings are just happening because they're fated. But with the Astro Dice showing the first house, which interestingly, again, we have a correlation here because the first house is a house ruled by Aries. So how about that? We have more double messages, a lot of double messages in this, all about independence, all about pushing forward on your path and listening to your intuition and taking action. For a lot of fire signs, I feel there's something to do with your path in general, becoming more independent, and also work and career area for a lot of, that's the energy I'm picking up on. But for some people it could just be your path, because we did have the first house come up here, which, and interestingly there's a 1 there, I just realized that. So many double messages for you guys. That's really powerful. Very, very powerful messages for the fire signs about independence this week. Okay, let's go next to the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oops, Sun in Cancer, home life, focus on your home and love. Fluorite, spirit guides, third eye, and growth, 5. Interesting. Okay, and I'll just get the Astro Dice and see what we get. Oh, we got Virgo, which is funny. 6th house. Okay. And Neptune. Ooh, interesting. All right, so sorry if you couldn't see that. All right, so I'll just put those to the side and keep, and I've got that there so I can see that. All right, so I'll talk about the cards first. So the Sun in Cancer for the earth signs talk about stability within your home life this week. And interesting because the Sun is in Cancer, but it's making those oppositions this week to Pluto and Jupiter. So there may be a pull between, you know, where you're going for your growth, which again could relate to the Sun opposite Jupiter, because growth relates to Jupiter. That's kind of spooky. Yeah, wow. So there could be a bit of a pull between your home life and where you're headed on your path. Some kind of feeling like you know that your life is changing in some kind of direction, and maybe you need to balance your home life and your family, and, you know, either desire to spend more time at home or demands of children and, you know, parenting or juggling, you know, different things. But Spirit's working with you here because you have the Spirit Guide card. Well, that's really interesting, and helping you balance things out. So call on your guides this week. Ask them to help you with your home, your work, your routine, which relates to the Astro Dice, the Virgo and 6th house energy. This is about your daily work, your daily life and routine. It's also about health. You have the Neptune on the Astro Dice as well, and that's interesting. That reflects with this card, Spirit Guide. So there is Spirit working very closely with you this week. Your intuition is very strong this week, so pay attention to your intuition in regards to your health, your work and routine this week, you guys. For the earth signs, it's very strong. And also a special message for Virgos, because the Virgo message came out here. So there could be something with work and or health for Virgos this week as well. But also I just want to say with this card, your intuition is giving you messages and signs this week, which is really great. Okay, so the next one is for the air signs. So that's for Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. You guys have faith, number 31. Zincite, physical body, root chakra. Taurus, moon in Taurus, self-esteem, number 5. And Astro Dice. Whoops. Okay, so you have Pluto, Aries, and the 9th house. Ooh. So some people may be studying or wanting to study or do some research. Could be something to do with legalities or paperwork, documents, and focusing very seriously on some kind of paperwork I'm getting. Let's see. So moon in Taurus, self-esteem. So for the air signs, you're focused on the one hand, those things that I just mentioned, some practical matters to do with paperwork, documents, or even something to do with overseas travel, overseas connections. The moon in Taurus comes up here, so your self-esteem is important this week. So thinking about, you know, where you're at in your life and what you really value with Taurus. You know, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is all about what is of true value to you. And we have the words personal growth on the top of that card there, which is interesting. So yeah, there's something here about paying attention to where your soul wants to grow and making sure that's aligned to what you truly value in your heart. Taurus is about really knowing that value on a deep physical body level, you know, in the deeper part of yourself, not in just the mind level, which often the air signs get caught up in the mind. It's asking you to go deeper into a deeper part of yourself that is your body's wisdom, because Taurus being very earthy here. And it also mentions the physical body, so there's like a double message with that. So as I said, Taurus being a very physical sign, physically in tune with the 5 senses, but you know, it's it's interesting because sometimes people think that being in tune with the five senses is just kind of, it is a bit surfacey or a bit basic, but it's actually, there's wisdom in what the body can tell you in terms of your deeper truth. You can feel that as you tap into your body's wisdom. Like, you know, women naturally do that. That's why women are more intuitive in general, because they know how to connect with their feelings and the feeling of their body and what their body is communicating. You know, it's like a primal level of instinct and then refining that with intuition. So there's messages about all that stuff here. Root chakra, getting grounded this week. Could be getting grounded through sensual things, through the physical body, or through appreciation of the simple but good things of life, which very much is Taurus energy. The faith card comes up here for you guys, for the air signs. So it's interesting because faith and personal growth. So there's something here about, you know, with 4, number 4 here, 31 adds to a 4, relating to your security because of the root chakra here, feeling safe in your life. It could be to do with finances as well, because these two cards, root chakra and Taurus, relates to finances. So the air signs may be concerned about money, shared resources, things like that. And there may be a need to have more faith and realize that you need to grow now. So let yourself grow into the next phase of your life. And you may be a bit daunted by something that you want to take on in your life here, but it's asking you to have faith. And there may be issues that you have to deal with about your sense of security and stability within yourself and facing fear, because the root chakra can often be like a survival reaction. So some kind of deep messages here, but you're being reminded to have faith through some changes that are going on for you that also relate to your self-esteem on a very deep level. Very interesting. Okay, next is, all right, so the water signs. You guys have Cancer, which is one of the water signs. So special message for Cancer, bloodstone and peace. Okay, and the astro dice for the water signs. 8th house, interesting. It's a watery house. Sorry, let me fix this. Saturn and Gemini. Interesting. So 8th house, Saturn and Gemini. Okay, let me think about that for a minute. Saturn in the 8th house is about maybe some worries about money. Gemini can relate to thinking and, you know, documents, communications, short trips. So there could be something related to those themes. The water signs, you guys have messages here about going within this week, really checking in with yourself, and meditation comes up with the peace card here. And the Cancer card says a sensitive introspective phase, and it's a 7, so it's, and it says belonging on the card. So for the water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, there's something here about home, family, where you belong, where you truly feel your soul family is. And you have bloodstone, which says detoxifying root, heart and sacral chakra. Again, about being grounded in the earth plane and feeling interesting with belonging, where you really feel a sense of connection in your life to others and to your, you know, to your life, to your, also to your purpose. I'm getting your sense of purpose. There is possibly a need for many of you to meditate this week, or to connect with nature, or, you know, to really reconnect with a sense of peace for yourself. There may have been some very stressful energies I'm picking up on, that you just want to withdraw a little bit and go within and process a lot internally, is what I'm feeling here. And interesting, because you did get the 8th house in the astro dice, so I feel like the 8th house is definitely about, you know, withdrawing your energy to sort of go very deeply within yourself to process a lot of emotion. There may be even things from your past as well that you're trying to process for the water signs. Some emotional things, could be to do with soulmates and soul connections. All right, guys, so that was the reading for this week. Thank you so much. And if you would like to book a personal reading from my online store, you will have to wait till next week till my store reopens again. I'm still doing face-to-face readings in Sydney this week. I'll be doing them ongoing, but this week I'm just focused on the face-to-face clients, so I can balance everything out with the school holidays. So anyway, thanks guys, have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon. Bye.